Welcome back to Stock Explorers. Today we're going to do a deep dive into Microvast.
Microvast.
They're making some pretty big waves in the battery world.
Yeah.
We've got their investor presentations. We got news about some of their big partnerships.
Right.
And even their latest financial reports.
Awesome.
So we're going to uncover what makes them so different.
Okay.
How they just hit profitability.
Cool.
And this big announcement about solid-state batteries they just made.
Yeah, this is not just hype.
Okay.
Microvast is doing things a little bit differently.
Okay.
A key part of that is their commitment to vertical integration.
Vertical integration.
So they're involved in every single step of the process, from like the initial research and development all the way to actually manufacturing the batteries themselves.
Okay, so they're not just designing these batteries, they're actually building the whole process from start to finish.
Exactly.
What's the advantage of doing that?
It gives them incredible control and flexibility. They can tailor their batteries to very specific needs, and they can innovate very quickly.
Gotcha.
We're not talking about a one-size-fits-all approach here.
Okay.
They've got a whole portfolio of products serving all kinds of different markets.
So it's like they're a custom tailor, but for batteries.
That's a great way to put it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any examples of how this is actually playing out in the real world?
Absolutely. Look at their partnership with FPT Industrial.
Okay.
Microvast supplies them with battery modules that actually end up in vehicles.
Okay.
Made by companies like CNH Industrial and Iveco, even some third-party customers.
Wow, so they're not just working with startups, they're already supplying some really big players in the industry.
Yeah, these are big names in the commercial vehicle industry.
Absolutely. And I see here that they also snagged a $200 million grant from the U.S. Department of Energy.
Yes.
That's a serious vote of confidence.
That's huge.
What is that for?
So that grant is specifically to help Microvast build a facility to produce their Polyaramid separator technology.
Okay, hold on. For those of us who aren't like battery experts, can you break down this separator thing?
Sure.
What does it do, and why is Microvast so special?
So you got a separator is kind of like the gatekeeper inside of a battery.
Okay.
It sits between the positive and negative electrodes, and it makes sure that they don't touch.
Gotcha.
If they did, you'd get a short circuit.
Okay.
And in the worst case, a fire.
Right.
Think about those scary stories you hear about lithium-ion batteries overheating.
Yeah, definitely a concern.
Yeah.
So this separator is kind of preventing those dangerous scenarios.
Exactly.
But what makes Microvast's version better?
It all comes down to the material.
Okay.
Their polyaramid separator is incredibly stable at high temperatures. So think about a regular battery getting too hot.
Yeah.
That's when things can get dangerous.
Right.
Microvast separator can handle significantly more heat, making the batteries much safer.
So it's like having an extra layer of protection built right in.
Exactly.
That sounds like a huge advantage, especially for electric vehicles and applications where safety is paramount.
For sure, and that focus on safety is probably one reason they're attracting so much attention from the big players like General Motors.
That makes sense.
But let's get into some of the specific battery tech that they develop.
All right, let's unpack that. I see they've got the MPCO 48 amp power cell and the HPCO 53.5 energy cell.
Yeah.
Those names are a mouthful.
They are a mouthful.
What are the key differences between those two?
Think of it this way. The MPCO 48A is the workhorse.
Okay.
It's designed for heavy-duty applications
Uh-huh.
where you need a lot of power
Okay.
and frequent use.
All right.
Picture delivery trucks or buses that are constantly stopping and starting.
Makes sense. So what makes this power cell stand out from the competition?
Well, for starters, it can charge incredibly fast.
Okay.
We're talking 80% charge in just 16 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
That's game-changing for businesses that need to keep their vehicles on the road.
Okay.
Plus, it performs really well in cold weather, which is important for a lot of regions.
Yeah.
And maybe best of all, it actually costs less to operate over its lifetime compared to older models.
So it's powerful, it's efficient, and it's economical.
It is.
That's a pretty compelling package.
It is.
Now, what about the HPCO 53.5 AIA energy cell?
Yeah.
What's its specialty?
That one is all about range.
Okay.
It's designed for battery electric commercial vehicles, BEVs that need to cover long distances.
Gotcha.
Think long-haul trucks or electric buses on extended routes.
Okay, so is prioritizing how much energy it can store.
Exactly.
What kind of specs are we talking about here?
It has an incredibly high energy density.
Okay.
Meaning it can pack a lot of power into a relatively small space. And perhaps even more importantly, it has a long cycle life.
Okay.
Over 5,000 cycles.
Yeah.
That means it can be charged and discharged thousands of times before it starts to degrade, which is crucial for long-term cost effectiveness.
Yeah. Makes sense. So both of these batteries are designed with very specific applications in mind.
Yeah.
It seems like Microvast really understands the needs of their customers,
Yes.
which makes sense with their vertical integration approach.
Yeah, they're not just throwing batteries at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Right.
They're developing targeted solutions
Okay.
that address real-world challenges.
All right, so we've got a handle on their approach to manufacturing,
Yes.
some of their core battery technology.
Uh-huh.
But what about the bottom line?
Okay.
Are they actually making money?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Let's talk about their recent financial performance.
Let's dive into those numbers.
Okay. Their Q3 2024 results were pretty impressive.
Okay, lay it on me.
They reported record revenue of $101.4 million,
Wow.
which is a 26.6% increase compared to the same period last year.
That's a huge jump in revenue.
It is.
What's driving that kind of growth?
Well, a couple things. Their established business segments in Asia-Pacific and Europe, the Middle East, and Africa are doing really well.
So they're expanding geographically.
They are,
Thank
but
you.
it's not just about expanding geographically.
Right.
They've also been very focused on improving their efficiency and profitability.
So they're not just growing, they're growing smartly.
Exactly.
Did this translate to actual profits, though?
It absolutely did.
Okay.
Their gross margin, which is essentially how much money they make on each battery they sell, jumped to 33.2%.
Okay.
That's up from 22.3% in Q3 of 2023.
Wow.
And get this, they achieved their first profitable quarter ever
Really?
with a net profit of $13.2 million.
So they went from losing money to turning a profit in just 1 year.
That's right. It's a complete turnaround from the net loss they reported in the same period last year.
That's incredible. What was the secret sauce?
Well, it seems like their strategic cost reduction efforts, particularly in the U.S., are really starting to pay off.
Okay.
They've also been consolidating operations, which helps streamline things and improve efficiency.
Yeah.
They're really proving that they can walk the walk when it comes to financial discipline.
So they're not just innovating on the technology front, they're innovating on the business side, too.
Exactly.
That's a really compelling combination.
It is.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Their solid-state battery announcement.
Yeah.
This seems like a potential game changer for the entire industry.
It really does. Their development of a true all-solid-state battery, or ASSB,
ASSB.
is a huge leap forward. We're not just talking about incremental improvements here.
Okay.
This is a fundamentally different approach to battery technology.
All right. I'm all ears. What makes this ASSB so different from the lithium-ion batteries we're all used to?
The key difference is the absence of liquid electrolytes.
Okay.
So in a traditional lithium-ion battery,
Yeah.
you have these liquid electrolytes that allow ions to flow between the electrodes.
Right.
But these liquids are flammable, and that's what can lead to those safety issues we talked about earlier.
Right. The overheating and potential fires.
Exactly. Microvast's ASSB replaces that liquid with a solid electrolyte,
Uh-huh.
completely eliminating that fire risk.
So no more flammable liquids, just a solid core.
That's right.
That sounds inherently safer.
It is.
But does that affect the battery's performance in any way?
It actually opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
Right.
Because they've eliminated the liquid, they can achieve much higher voltages,
Okay.
potentially dozens of volts or even higher.
Wow.
This translates to more power and energy density packed into a smaller space.
So we're talking about a smaller battery with more power.
Exactly. It also simplifies the overall battery architecture,
Okay.
making it potentially easier and cheaper to manufacture in the long run.
So we're talking about a safer, more powerful, and potentially more cost-effective battery.
Yeah, it's certainly a major breakthrough.
This is starting to sound like the holy grail of battery technology.
It's getting close.
That's incredible, and they're not stopping there.
Nope.
Remember that polyaramid separator we talked about?
Yes.
They're using a similar material in their all-solid electrolyte separator membrane,
Right.
adding yet another layer of safety and durability.
It's a very smart approach.
So they're leveraging their existing expertise and building on their strengths.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
But where can we actually see these ASSBs being used? Is this just a lab experiment, or are there real-world applications on the horizon?
They've already outlined some exciting potential uses.
Okay, like what?
They're looking at data center backup power systems,
Okay.
electric school buses, and even advanced robotics.
Wow, so these are areas where safety, reliability, and performance are absolutely critical.
Yeah.
I could definitely see how those applications would benefit from a safer and more powerful battery.
For sure.
But what about things like electric cars? Is that on the table?
It's too early to say for sure,
Okay.
but the potential is definitely there. One of the exciting things about their ASSB technology is its flexibility.
Okay.
They can actually customize the cell design and voltage configuration to meet specific needs.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Exactly.
It's more like a platform that can be adapted to different applications.
That's a great way to put it.
That's incredibly versatile.
It is, and it's particularly well suited for applications where space and weight are major constraints,
Okay.
like in advanced robotic systems.
I see.
Imagine robots that can operate for much longer periods on a single charge
Uh-huh.
and don't pose the same fire risks as traditional lithium-ion batteries. The possibilities are really quite exciting.
Okay, so we've talked about their vertical integration,
Yes.
their impressive battery tech,
Yeah?
their financial turnaround, and now this massive leap into solid-state batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Where does all this leave Microvast in the grand scheme of the battery industry?
Well,
What kind of company are they shaping up to be?
they're clearly positioning themselves as a leader, and not just by following trends, but by setting them.
Right.
They're not afraid to invest heavily in research and development,
Yeah.
and their recent financial success gives them the resources to keep pushing the boundaries.
It's like they're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
I like that analogy.
They're thinking several moves ahead.
They are, and it's not just about technological innovation.
Right.
It's about a broader vision.
Yeah.
They're very vocal about their commitment to sustainability.
Uh-huh.
They see their technology as a key driver in reducing carbon emissions and contributing to a cleaner planet.
Right. They're not just building a business, they're building a better future.
Exactly. And that resonates with a lot of investors and consumers these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're not just focused on electric vehicles and big energy projects, right?
Nope.
I see they're making moves in some other interesting areas as well.
They're diversifying their portfolio and exploring a wide range of applications.
Like what?
For example, they've partnered with Eversum, a company that specializes in electric shuttle buses.
Oh, yeah, I read about that.
They've been supplying their high-performance, low-floor battery packs for these buses for 4 years now.
Those low-floor batteries are specifically designed to make boarding and exiting easier for passengers.
Right.
Which is a huge accessibility win. It's great to see them thinking about those practical considerations.
It's a perfect example of how they're not just focused on the tech itself,
Mm.
but also on how it can be applied to solve real-world problems and improve people's lives.
And they're not limiting themselves to land-based vehicles either.
That's right.
They've recently partnered with Evoy,
Evoy.
a Norwegian company that makes high-output electric motor systems for boats.
Interesting.
Microvast will be supplying their MVI high-power battery packs for Evoy's line of leisure boats.
So they're getting into the electric boat market?
They are. It's still a relatively small market, but it's growing rapidly
Yeah.
as people become more aware of the environmental impact of traditional boating.
Makes sense.
And it seems like a perfect fit for Microvast technology.
How so?
Well, Evoy is specifically highlighting the MVI battery pack's enhanced safety and reliability,
Okay.
especially its self-contained cooling system,
Right.
which is crucial in a marine environment.
It is.
And the pack's lightweight design and high energy density are ideal for boats where space and weight are always major considerations.
Yeah, that's a really smart move.
It's a win-win for both companies.
It is.
And speaking of showcasing their versatility, Microvast also made a big splash at the IAA Transportation 2024 event.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
They unveiled a whole slew of new battery solutions,
Okay. Like what?
including their silicon-based HNSO cells,
Huh?
lithium chitin oxide LTO cells,
Okay.
and the third-generation MVI pack.
Wow, they've been busy.
They have, and those new offerings are really impressive.
What do they do?
The HNSO cells are all about pushing the limits of energy density.
Okay.
They can pack 300 watt-hours per kilogram,
Wow.
which means more range for electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Plus, they have a long cycle life,
Okay.
so they're built to last.
Makes sense.
And the LTO cells are designed for applications that require ultra-high power
Uh-huh.
and frequent charging and discharging cycles,
Okay.
like delivery trucks or buses that are constantly on the go.
Right?
They're also incredibly safe, which is always a top priority for Microvast.
It is.
Exactly. And then there's the third generation MVI pack,
Yeah.
which is a more versatile solution.
Okay.
It offers a great balance of high energy density and long cycle life.
Uh-huh.
It's robust, lightweight, and adaptable to a variety of commercial vehicles.
So they're really covering all their bases.
They also unveiled their latest battery management system, or BMS 5.0.
HMS 5.0.
This isn't just about the batteries themselves.
Right.
It's about the sophisticated electronics that manage them
Okay.
and keep them operating safely and efficiently.
Uh-huh.
And they're taking cybersecurity very seriously with this new system,
Okay.
which is critical as vehicles become more connected and reliant on complex software.
That's really important.
They're really thinking about every aspect of the battery ecosystem.
They are. It's clear that they're not just throwing technology at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Right.
They have a strategic vision for the future of batteries.
Right.
And they're executing it on multiple fronts.
And speaking of strategic vision, let's talk about their move into utility-scale energy storage.
Okay.
They recently launched their new ME6 energy storage solution,
ME6.
which is based on their latest 565 amp-hour lithium iron phosphate, or LFP battery.
LFP.
This is a big deal for the renewable energy sector.
Is.
I know they use NMC batteries for their commercial vehicles.
Yes.
So why the shift to LFP for energy storage?
It's all about choosing the right tool for the job.
Okay.
LFP batteries are known for their lower cost, enhanced reliability, and longer lifespan compared to NMC batteries.
Okay.
They're also considered more environmentally friendly
How so?
because they don't contain cobalt, which is a controversial material.
Right, and didn't I read somewhere that these LFP batteries are eligible for tax credits under the Inflation Reduction Act?
You did.
That's a huge financial incentive for both Microvast and their customers.
So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
They're using a more sustainable and cost-effective battery technology
Uh-huh.
that also happens to be eligible for government incentives. It's a smart move all around.
So what can you tell us about this ME6 system? What makes it stand out?
Well, it's designed to be compact and durable
Okay.
with a whopping 6 megawatt hours of energy storage capacity,
Oh.
packed into a standard 21-foot container.
Okay.
That means it can be easily transported and deployed in a variety of locations.
So they're not just thinking about the technology, they're thinking about the logistics and the practicalities of deployment?
Exactly. They're taking a holistic approach to energy storage,
Uh-huh.
and it's paying off, but they're not resting on their laurels. They're already developing their next product launch for 2025-2026.
Wow.
Building on their 16-year history of innovation and commercialization.
It seems like they have a very clear roadmap for the future.
They do.
They're not just reacting to market trends,
Nope.
they're anticipating them
Uh-huh.
and developing solutions that will be in high demand for years to come.
It's an exciting time to be watching the battery industry.
It is.
And Microvast is right at the forefront of that excitement.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from their unique approach to manufacturing and their diverse battery technologies, to their financial success and their ambitious plans for the future.
Yeah.
But let's take a step back for a moment and consider the bigger picture.
Okay.
What does Microvast's success and their technological advancements mean for the world?
That's a great question. Their work has implications that go far beyond the company itself.
Okay.
They're playing a crucial role in the electrification of transportation, which has the potential to significantly reduce carbon emissions and improve air quality globally.
And their focus on energy storage solutions is absolutely vital for the transition to renewable energy sources like solar and wind power. We need efficient ways to store that energy.
Yes.
So it's available when we need it, regardless of whether the sun is shining or the wind is blowing.
Exactly. Microvast technology can help make that transition smoother and more reliable. And that's something we should all be excited about.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the environmental impact.
Right.
They're also creating jobs and supporting economic growth with their manufacturing facilities in the U.S. and abroad.
That's right. And their commitment to research and development is fostering innovation and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the battery industry, which benefits everyone.
They're not just a company. They're a force for positive change in the world. They're proving that it's possible to be both profitable and purpose-driven. So keep an eye on Microvast, folks. They're a company that could very well change the world as we know it. And remember, always do your own research.
Yes.
Consider your investment goals. And never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Wise words. The world of battery technology is complex and constantly evolving.
It is.
But Microvast seems to be navigating it with skill and foresight.
And that's a wrap for our deep dive into Microvast. We hope you found this exploration informative and thought-provoking.
If you're interested in learning more about Microvast, we encourage you to visit their website and delve into their investor presentations.
Yeah.
There's a treasure trove of information available for those who want to dig deeper.
And as always, don't forget to like this episode, subscribe to Stock Explorers, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future deep dives into the world of innovative companies. Until next time.